What's good? What's
How
good?
you doing? My name is
I'm
Ryan
wonderful.
Andrea, and I'm the author of 16 Weeks, The Physique Athlete's Guide to a Perfect Prep. Welcome to One on One with the Physique Athlete, the story behind the stage, where we talk to competitive bodybuilders and give them the platform to tell their own powerful story from behind the stage. Today, we are talking to Shaun Toris. Shaun,
Hey,
as
she
soon
said
as
it
we started
right.
talking, yeah, that's right. That's right. As soon as we started talking, I knew it was going to be a great conversation. Your birthday is November 5th. Mine is November 2nd. Your first
Uh-huh.
competition was on my birthday. How are you? What are
Yep.
you doing? What's the agenda for today?
I am good. I'm great. I'm wonderful. I'm blessed. I
Yeah.
am excited to be here with you and my Scorpio sister.
Yes. I love it. So
Yeah.
I have a fun fact to share with the audience. You can share it with them yourself. Monday is your favorite day of the week. Why is
Uh-huh.
that? No, nobody's favorite day of the week is Monday except yours. It's all yours. Why is that?
Yeah. My favorite is it's because I love wrestling. Ever since I was a kid, I love wrestling. Like Monday Night Raw, that was my thing. I geared up for it, and we would go in, and it's always been my thing. So for anybody who ever say they week can't start off good, you better watch you some wrestling, B.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah,
So you recently competed at the NFF Shredder. That was the first bodybuilding show here in Central Texas of this season.
yes,
Uh,
ma'am.
Tell us about that show, previous shows, your shows. I understand you compete in Oklahoma. You travel a lot more than some of the other athletes that I've spoken to in the past.
Uh,
Just talk to us about that. What's your circuit? What's your plan? How you do that?
hey, we gonna. It's. So it was just exciting to come to Austin, Texas, for the first time. I had not been to Austin in maybe 3, 4 years from
Okay.
uh,
Okay.
my previous career endeavors that used to take me around the world. But came to Austin. The people were amazing. NFF is freaking awesome. They treated us so well. The competition was ran smoothly. Shredder was really good. Justin, great promoter out there. Um, the competitors, second to none when it comes to class. They were amazing. Some of the people on stage, which I was just honored to be on stage with them. That was my fifth show. That was my fifth
Okay.
show. That was my fifth show. My first show was November 2nd,
That's right.
2019.
Okay.
2019. Yeah. And this was my first show in 2021 as we start that season
Yeah.
and start traveling,
Yeah.
heading up to Minneapolis, Minnesota, May 29th for North American Championships.
Very good. So really, your first show was just a few years ago. Just a few
Yeah.
years ago, November 2nd, 2019. That's fairly recent.
Yeah.
So what got you into bodybuilding? I understand that there is a significant date to you, something that means something to you, that kind
Yeah.
of propelled you into bodybuilding. Could you tell us a little bit about
Right.
that date and what happened
March.
on that day?
Oh, definitely. March 9th, 2019 I call that my rebirth birthday.
Yeah.
And I experienced the lowest point of my entire life. I've shared this before, and I was going through a really nasty divorce, and
Yeah.
everything was just going on crazy. Coming to a new state, coming back to a state, coming back to Oklahoma. I lived in Charlotte, North Carolina for over 13 years. Had my business, and
Yeah.
life was just smooth sailing as I thought. And then it just rock bottom hit me. And I had attempted to do something that I'm so glad and blessed that was not successful. I tried to do suicide, and that's something that's never been in my character ever. I'm a very uh, positive spiritual person, but when you hit that pit and you hit that bottom part of life, you don't know what's going on. You can't figure it out. And
Yeah.
as I had shared with you some details on that
Yeah.
about that. We won't go too far into that to just be respectful, but
Understood.
it was definitely life changing. So the next day, I went to a Planet Fitness, and I don't know why I ended up at that Planet Fitness. I remember dates and times very well. It was 6:05. I had just dropped my daughter off, and I was on my way back home and I just stopped at that Planet Fitness and I couldn't even lift 10 pounds. I was 94 pounds. I was using a walker to get around. I was very embarrassed, didn't want anyone to know about that. And I threw up. I just threw up so much in blood, and it was just a really dramatic experience, something that I never thought I experienced. But I went back the next day, and the next day, and the next day. And now I can literally say I have not missed the gym, rain, sleet, snow, weather, holiday, birthday, Reagan's birthday, it does not matter. I still hit that gym.
That's right.
And it has been a consistent situation. I had no desires of being in bodybuilding. This was not a personal goal of mine.
Yeah, I understand there was what you call an angel, or what you consider to be an angel there in the gym that day. Talk to us about your angel. Talk to us about that, man. Yeah.
It was a little old guy, and he said, I saw you the other day and you were really going through some problems. And I'm glad that you kept coming. And I was like, thank you, sir. And all this and that. And he was like, I want you to compete. No clue what you're talking about. I knew nothing about competing, bodybuilding, or men's physique, anything of that. He was like, get to 130 pounds with me and come see. So within a month, I went from March 9th all the way to, I remember weighing in April 15th of 2019, excuse me. And I went from 94 pounds to 135 pounds on the dot. And I was like, I wasn't taking anything. I was eating. I had appetite again. I was drinking water and everything. And then I seen him in the locker room and I was like, hey man, what's your name? He's like, don't worry about my name. He was like, when you get to 150 some odd pounds, come and see me. The next month, I missed the goal of what he was asking by 2 pounds. And he said, that's what I want you to do. I want you to compete. And I'm like, what is that? And he said, go and look up men's physique. I am a YouTuber digger. I love to research things. So I said, all right, bet. I got time tonight. Reagan was asleep. And I looked it up and I was like, I was so intrigued. My eyes was like this big. I was like, what's going on? What is this world? I never knew it existed. And I saw him the next day and I said, so will you be my coach? Will you do me such and such? He's like, no, I want you to do Oklahoma City Grand Prix. I did not know that's like the Super Bowl of the world here in Oklahoma. Okay, Grand Prix is like the Super Bowl. I trained, and then I told him I went ahead and got all set up, and he was like, all right, man, now go show the world what you got. I didn't even know how to pose. Didn't know how to pose.
I love it. Okay, all right.
He taught me nothing. I literally went to Grand Prix not knowing where I was at. Green is all get out, and one of the guys was nice enough to say, no, don't go do a double bicep. I need you to go. This is your pose. This is your blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, for men's physique specifically.
Yeah, he was like, don't go out there and do that, Shaun. I said, okay. Went out there, like I told you, I was called for first call outs, and backs win shows, and I went and showed my back, and they said, all right, back on that line. And I was back on the line, and I came in dead last.
Okay.
And me being a competitor, I have always ranked pretty high all through track and basketball and stuff. So it was humbling. And I remember going and sitting in the back, and I had my hoodie on, and I remember sitting like this, and I was watching, and I was saying, I'm going to change the game. I'm going to change the whole landscape of bodybuilding. And I just smiled, got up, and I went and had my cheat meal.
That's right.
And at that point, I strategically started thinking of how to change the game of bodybuilding. And a lot of people sit there and say they're going to be a game changer, but they kind of go with the flow of what's already been blueprinted. And we had spoke about this. It's a business. This is a business. You can have the best physique in the world. You can have the greatest smile in the world. And those are very important situations. But at the end of the day, it is a business. So if you don't have this and you just got this, they want the whole total package.
At some point, they have to come together.
Yeah, they have to come together. Coming from the entertainment world, a lot of record labels and executives, they want your package already done, and they just want to come and put the stamp of approval on it and get the money. You need to come with a ready-made package, something that a sponsor or someone wants to invest in and see that you invested in yourself.
And so how does your background in the entertainment industry and in that business translate to bodybuilding and making bodybuilding a business for you?
For me, it's just as hard as we diet and we work out. You got to make sure that everything is legit or across the board. I mean, and there's a lot into it when it comes to that. This, there are judges and sponsors and everyone is watching you from the time that you get there. And if you gotta be present, you gotta be available. You always have to be ready for that opportunity, that conversation, to be able to have someone with somebody to offer something to them. And that means just as much preparation as you do on Hell Week. Those 16 weeks that you're prepping, your whole career, even on off season, you need to be prepping your overall package and your business side of it. Know what you want and what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do and where you're trying to go. Pick your lane and where you're moving.
Absolutely.
I'm not one of those guys that's going to be in men's physique and classic and bodybuilding all at the same time.
Right.
If God says, hey, it's time for you to move on to classic, that's how we're going to do that. It's time to move into bodybuilding. But my calling is in men's physique. I never thought in a million years I would be saying that, because my passion is music. But it's a difference. It's a big difference between your passion and your calling. And when you're living in your calling, you're going to move in a way that is so smooth.
It's smooth. Yeah, it's different. It's different.
It's real
I remember you said something when we spoke earlier that really hit me. It said that basically, if you don't have, going back to that presentation and the image and the brand, that you can have a body. And if you just have a body, you're basically just a participant. You're an athlete or a participant, but you have to create this package for them. And I think that does separate you. I remember at NFF, and the reason I remember you and the reason I reached out to you, just like you're saying, was because of the way you were dressed before, because of the way you came in the door. This guy has on a suit. Who is this guy? And I'm waiting to see him on stage. You know, literally, I'm waiting to see him on stage so I can say, that's the guy that had on the suit. And I remember at the end of the competition, you know, you accepted your awards gracefully and you went back and you changed back into your suit before you came back to the judges table. I remember that. And now you sit before me in a tie and a dress shirt, not in a baseball cap or a hoodie. And I'm affirming that you are making your point and you are living that, where you're saying, I'm not just a participant, this is a business. And that's much appreciated. Absolutely.
It's definitely for like I told you when we spoke, someone who may buy it, you bought a ticket, you came to a show, you came to see a competition. Now, everyone wants to separate themselves on stage in a sense, right?
Right.
Because it's a competition. But if you spend 30, 40, 50 bucks on the ticket to come in and you already saw the package when it walked in the door, there's nothing for the fan or the audience to look forward to. So also, I mentioned this to you as well, Tom Brady and LeBron or whoever else, they show up to work ready to work. And when they come to work, just like any businessman or any sports person, this is our sport. This is I'm an athlete, so I'm coming to work. So when I come to work, I want you to know that package right there, he's serious about what he's doing. It's not just a hobby. It's just not something that he's taking for lightly. And I don't knock anyone, because we all go through hell week different.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But for me personally, I just don't feel like if a family member or a fan or someone who has followed your journey, if they spent their hard-earned worked money, they want to be able to see the show. So if you already got a peep show to the show, there's nothing to look forward to.
There's no more show.
And then also, and we are a close-knit community and everybody loves everybody. But at the end of the day, as a competitor, if I'm already showing you what you're going up against 100%, I got well, I'm not going to tell you what I do, but a person has an opportunity to sit there just certain ways. I'm looking and scoping in so many different ways, but yes, I'm cool with you. I love that. I will shake hands. We could, hey, after this, let's go have a beer because we earned it. But before leading up to that, when we get on that stage,
yeah,
I'm there to work. I'm there to win, and I'm not there just to get a trophy to put on the wall. It's more than that. It's definitely, this is how I provide for my family. You know what I'm saying? This for me and Ray, this is how we move.
Shaun, you won the 2020 NPC Sportsman Award internationally, nationally. I understand it's an international and national award. And the head judge was at the event. Tell us what that meant to you, especially at that point, somewhat a new competitor. You compete on the NPC stage, you compete on the natural stage as well, but you won the Sportsman Award in NPC. Talk to us about that and the federations and, bridging that gap between the two stages.
I am so sorry. I had that award ready. It's in the other room.
It's
I was
okay.
like, Shaun, bring it in. But at the same time, yes, I did not know what it was. Again, it was my second. So at this point, it's my second show. It's the first show that was actually available anywhere in the world after COVID had hit. This was the first cleared show. And I learned a lot, I studied a lot, and that's when I started perfecting the package and the business aspect of it, as well as the body and my dieting a lot better. And the judge was just like, "There's something about you, kid." And I'm 36 years old. I'm a master's 35 plus.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I know I look 12, but and I'm saying to myself, and I'm just eye contact, listening to everything he says. Something about you, kid. And that smile. And that's one thing I want to pride myself in, is that I want you to know I'm enjoying what I do. This isn't just something that's plastered on there. Like that smile that you see or that glisten in my eye, it is so real because we train hard to get up there and we might get 20, 30 seconds, but you're so depleted. So if that, and you're so tired, and you need to be able to have that opportunity to just live in it. So if you truly live in it, the posing is not going to be as hard. The smiling isn't as hard. You're not straining, and the judges can relate to you because they're people just like your people. This is a psychological game. So if you don't know people enough, just be yourself. And that's where he was like, "You're going to go far. You got something different. That's not just the body." I'm a little guy. I'm short. I get that. But when you come up there,
more.
It does take more. It does take a lot
more. Shaun, you have a daughter and you mentioned her. When we spoke before, I said I'm already in love with her. Her first name starts with an R, so does mine. We are both our father's only daughter and only child. How do you all share athletics? How do you all share that?
You heard it last time we talked on the phone. I light up when it comes to that girl.
I know.
Reagan is she's a gymnast, and she's been a gymnast since she was 2 years old, and she is on the competitive team right now. We're getting ready for state. She's qualified for state, so she's doing really, really good when it comes to that. All around champion last week. So little plug, good job, baby girl.
That's right. That's right.
One thing, my daughter got to see me perform on stage when I was professionally singing on a regular basis, and she was like, "Cool, awesome. That's what my daddy does. You know, he's a singer." But I remember looking out in the crowd, and she came to my second show. I remember looking out in the crowd, and she had on bright yellow, matching my bright yellow shorts. And the look on her face she was so astonished. Like Reagan had seen where I had come from. She saw me at the 94 pounds. She saw me when I was 6. She saw, she felt the energy. She went through a lot of it the same way. Kids are kids, but they're still human.
Yes.
But I just felt like we had a human being, not even a father to daughter moment. It was more of a human moment. Like, I see you and I know where you came from. And I'm like, I see you and I hope that I make you proud. And the look on her face, and I remember her coming up to me, she said, I can't believe he did it.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I said, but then with her doing gymnastics, it's one of those things. It's I do want her to understand the importance of winning, but then I need her to understand the importance of losing, because if you can't lose, if you can't win gracefully, you can't lose gracefully. So when I came in last place at that first bodybuilding show, I was never sad. I was just, it just fueled me. And like I said, I put that hoodie on my head back there by myself. I said, I'm going to change the business. It didn't matter if it was NFF, NPC, when I get that pro card for IFBB, when I get that pro card for NFF, when I get that pro card for IPE, it does not matter. I don't care what federation it's going to be, but you're going to get a show. You're going to get a package. You're going to get your money.
I love it.
Definitely. And Reagan will give you a show too.
I love it. Tell her that we said hello, and tell her that we love her and we support her 100% in her gymnastics career. How about that? In her career.
Yeah.
And Shaun, your smile does tell a story. It does tell a story. And thank you for today. Thank you.
Hey, thank you so much for having me, guys. I am looking forward to being with you many, many more times. I'm gonna be in Dallas for the Super Show. I'm gonna come out there and support that. I'm definitely coming back to Austin again. Like I said, I started prep yesterday for May 29th up in Minneapolis, Minnesota for North American Championships. So be with me, pray over your boy.
That's right. And if we want to follow you, where should we follow you? IG, Facebook? Where's the best place for us to stay with you?
Stay with me at, you can come to IG, on Instagram at the Shaun Toris, and on Facebook, Shaun Toris. I'm the only Shaun Toris in the world.
That's right.
So it's pretty easy to find me. And if you don't know how to spell my name, it's ShaunToris, and you will be able to find me. And I would love to talk to any and everybody, man. This is awesome. I'm loving this world that we're in.
I love it. I love it. Thank you, Shaun. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so
See you
much.
later.
God bless you. All right now.